Hi guys, movie recapper here. Today, I am going to explain you a movie named Spies in Disguise from 2019. Spoilers ahead. Now, sit comfortably and watch out. And I hope you enjoy. So, the film opens with what appears to be a bomb, about to be disabled. In reality, it is the kid genius Walter Beckett, operating an experiment. His mother, who is an officer named Wendy Beckett, comes in to find that he was using her cell phone in the experiment, but he stops her from getting mad by exploding his glitter bomb to prove that glitter releases a reaction called serotonin, and therefore makes people happy. Wendy tells Walter to get ready for school, but he doesn't want to go, because the other kids think he's weird. Wendy encourages him, that the world needs his type of weirdness. Cut to 14 years later in Japan. Super spy Lance Sterling is entering the base of international arms dealer Katsu Kimura, who is set to hand over a bioweapon called the M9 Assassin to a mysterious buyer. After Lance takes out a bunch of Kimura's goons in several ways, the buyer, known only as Killian, comes to collect the weapon. He knows Lance from an earlier event, though the spy doesn't recognize him. A Yakuza team storms in, and when Lance tries to use a gadget on them, he ends up using Walter's kitty glitter bomb. It does work in distracting the henchman, but Killian is getting away. Lance launches himself out of the hideout and jumps through Killian's chopper to repair the weapon and get away. Lance returns to the agency in Washington, D.C. where everyone is in awe of his work. He is annoyed at Walter's gadgets and goes to complain to him about it. Walter is given a corner office to work in with his other gadgets. Lance blames Walter for developing gadgets that don't work how he normally uses them, which Walter defends by saying that he thinks there need to be a safer way to complete their missions. Lance is unimpressed and has Walter fired. Lance goes to meet with director Joy Jenkins over the M9 Assassin. Unfortunately, the case he grabbed off of Killian turns out to be empty. Internal Affairs agent Marcy Kappel enters with her teammates, eyes and ears, to confront Lance as they have footage of what appears to be Lance making off with the weapon when it is really Killian masked himself as Lance. Marcy attempts to catch and arrest Lance, but he creates a diversion that allows him to get away. He uses his card to determine that Kimura is the only one who can help him find Killian, but first, he needs to find Walter to help him disappear since he had previously mentioned developing a new tech to accomplish that. Walter lives home alone with his pet pigeon Lovey. It's revealed that Wendy has long since passed away. Using one of Lovey's feathers, he manages to achieve a perfect formula for his disappearing tech. Lance arrives at his house to ask for Walter's help. Walter, holding the formula, offers Lance a drink, but Lance mistakenly holds the formula and gulps it down. Walter informs Lance that he is about to turn into a pigeon. Lance experiences extreme discomfort before he ultimately transforms into a pigeon. He freaks out and orders Walter to change him back, but he doesn't currently have an antidote. To make matters worse, Walter has informed the agency that Lance is there, unaware that now he is a criminal. The two head to Lance's car to make a getaway. Lance tries to go off on his own, but Walter convinces Lance that he needs him since he has his own portable lab. Marcy's eyes and ears spot the car getting away and head off in pursuit. Lance wants to use firepower to fend off the other agents, but Walter wants to try and use a simple oil slick. This causes the car's systems to temporarily shut down and almost cause them to crash, but they manage to get away from the agents before planning their next move. Lance and Walter go to Mexico after tracking Kimura there. Two other pigeons, Crazy Eyes and Jeff, join Lance as part of a flock, while Lovey shows a romantic interest in him. They arrive at the hotel where Kimura is staying, and Walter points out to Lance that he can sneak past Kimura's goons undetected. Lance tries to get Kimura's room key from the front desk, but Crazy Eyes and Jeff keep messing it up for him until the concierge throws Lance in the trash. Fortunately, Crazy Eyes managed to swallow the card and spit it up for Lance. He makes his way up to the room and tries to fight Kimura, but finds that he is not as effective as a bird. Walter and the other pigeons show up and use Walter's pen gadget that causes temporary paralysis, but makes it look like the person has lost all their bones, on Kimura before applying a truth serum that makes him reveal that Killian is planning to go to Venice to steal the database of every agent working under Jenkins. Marcy and her team then storm the room, forcing Lance, Walter, and the birds to get out. After attempting to jump to a nearby balcony, Walter falls but catches on with a grappling hook. The other agents corner him and the birds, but since Crazy Eyes ate the pen, he fires a gum-like substance to trap the agents, allowing Lance and Walter to escape. Marcy is astonished that Walter used something non-lethal to subdue everyone. She then contacts Jenkins and is baffled that there is no trace of evidence that Lance was there, except for a feather. The heroes then make their way to Venice where Killian has located the database. Before Lance and Walter can make their way into the building, Marcy and her team show up and try to convince Walter to give Lance up. Marcy brings up the fact that his mom was a cop and that she sacrificed her life to save her fellow officers, something Lance is just finding out about. Walter rejects Marcy's request to turn Lance in, so she cuffs him outside while she and her team go handle Killian. Lance frees Walter and they head off to do the job themselves. Killian has used the assassin to acquire the database, leading Lance to try and fly after it, but he needs help from Lovey, Jeff, and Crazy Eyes. They catch up to the assassin, as does Walter, but Killian knocks Walter down and almost hurts him before he manages to attract a massive flock of pigeons by throwing breadcrumbs on Killian. The villain gets away, but Walter had placed a tracker on him. Lance, Walter, and the birds ride a submarine to Killian's location while Walter perfects the antidote using one of Lovey's feathers. This successfully turns Lance back into a human. Once they get to Killian's lair, however, Lance forces Walter to go back because he plans to kill Killian, while Walter argues that there has to be a better way to stop him. Lance tranquilizes him and sends him away, fearing that he could get killed if he tries to help. Lance reaches the top of Killian's lair, but he gets captured after Killian reveals he's created 1,000 more drones to go after Lance's fellow agents. His reasoning being that while on a mission in Kyrgyzstan, Lance's team wiped out Killian's man and left him disfigured, necessitating his cybernetic enhancements. It is then shown on Killian's computer that the lair's proximity has been breached, meaning Walter is coming back to save Lance. Killian sends 2 drones after him and forces Lance to watch. An explosion is seen in the water, and Lance believes Walter has been killed. As Killian sends his drones toward Washington, Walter is revealed to have survived by using his inflatable hug protection bubble. He and Lance reconcile, and Walter sends a message to Marcy for backup. They catch Killian and fight him while Walter tries hacking into Killian's arm to stop the drone strike. Meanwhile, the drones have found the agency, and Jenkins attempts to lead her agents to safety, but the drones have them trapped. Walter gives Lance, Marcy, and her agents his gadgets that prove to disable the drones in creative and safe ways. Killian attempts to escape on a drone, but Walter latches onto him. They get high above the clouds, just as Walter fully hacks into Killian's arm. Despite being high up, Walter traps Killian in an inflatable hug while he falls and deactivates all the drones. Lance turns himself back into a pigeon using a small vial of formula and leads Lovey, Crazy Eyes, Jeff, and a whole flock to save Walter. Eyes and Ears find Killian, and he is apparently taken into custody. Upon returning to Washington, Lance and Walter are both fired for breaking a ton of rules. Just as they start to look on the bright side, they are abducted and thrown into a van, but it's just a setup by Marcy and Jenkins. They want Walter to lead a new team, as they were impressed by his harmless gadgets. The movie comes to its end, with Lance and Walter now working as a team, along with the pigeons as their backup. Like if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, let me know in the comment that, are you a fan of Will Smith?